Hey, what's going on, guys? So in this video we're going to be doing a pretty informative voiceover. We're up against Cassante in this matchup. So runes are going Grasp, Demolish, Second Wind, Revitalize, Presence of Mind, Last Stand, and then we went with Attack, Speed, Damage, and Armor. Grasp is pretty good into tanks that are usually building a Brambles first item into Warwick, or like a Bammy Cinder, because Grasp deals magic damage on top of your Q, which also deals magic damage. So if they build Brambles, then the magic damage of Grasp is really helpful still, because like I said, Grasp deals magic damage. So anyways, let's get into it. Cassante can be a little bit of an annoying matchup. He's not too difficult, he's just annoying, and you have to play a certain way to deal with him. So that's the whole point with that's the whole point with Cassante. He's just annoying to lane against, but he's not the worst thing in the world. It ends up getting a little bit bad though in the mid game whenever he has like 2 completed items. Then it can be a little bit tricky. But anyways, yeah. So all we're doing here, we're just trying to farm up the wave. So this is a type of game where you guys are gonna see how impactful you can be with a top lane whenever you get a lead in top lane. But yeah, if you guys end up enjoying this video, go ahead and leave it a thumbs up down below. I'll appreciate that. It does help me more than you may think. And feel like you want to see more content, you could always hit that subscribe button and change your mind later if you don't want to watch me anymore, right? So all we did there is we're waiting for his E shield to go down. That was the whole reasoning behind me going like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We wanted to make sure that we got his E shield away, and then that way we're able to deal as much damage to him as possible without him negating, with him negating as little damage as possible. So that's the whole point behind that. We got our Tiamat and we got our boots. Put a pink ward in that bush because with the top lane now, there's only the one bush, right? So with the new map, there's only the one bush in the top lane. Well, in the river, there's still a bush there's still the tri-brush, but there's only the one lane, the one bush that enters the lane. So it is pretty important, from all my top lane experience on the new map, which I've been playing a lot. It is pretty important to make sure that you keep that bush warded at all times. Sometimes you end up fighting for that ward or like that bush coverage. So yeah, all we're trying to do here, we're just trying to get a little bit of a poke, and we're trying to make sure that we keep him low so that we're able to go in and out. So with your laner being 50% HP, you get that W move speed, right? So it's easier for you to dodge your skill shots and stuff like this. As soon as it threw that Q and we avoided it, we wanted to make sure that we got our ult under tower. He didn't have anything to interrupt us, so that was the whole idea behind that little mini dive. But yeah, we got our longsword, we got our ruby crystal, picked up a refillable because we're going to be planning on staying in lane for quite some time here, because I did want to get as many components to Titanic, or potentially finish Titanic on our next buy. So that's why we got our refillable. It's more so for these long trades where you can start going in and out and use that potion for some help. We have to use Ghost here. So the way I like doing the Cassante matchup is you can quite literally very easily kill him without his ult. Okay, so it's a type of matchup where I like, not always, but in a situation like that where you're not in a winning or an advantage position, I do like ulting. So it's like a trade, an ult for an ult, right? And then at that point, I'm not low enough anymore. He can't kill me. So you can kill him without your ult. He can't really kill you without his ult, right? So you want to use that to your advantage. So all we did there, I cut through the video. It was just a boring part of the lane. I kept healing up a bunch, but then we got an unfortunate situation. But all we did there is like what you saw me cut out there was just me farming up minions a bunch, healing to full, and like 50% HP. Kind of unfortunate that we weren't able to get that assist on the Cassante there, but it is what it is. So my objective here, I'm like, okay, so we don't really have any position to be in a super advantageous position. So all we're trying to do here is just trying to farm up our Titanic and get grass procs. That's all we're trying to do in this sort of situation here, because right now he's got his Spectres and he's got D shield. So he's got ridiculous HP regen between that and Doran's shield. Also, if he has second wind or not, I'm not too sure. A lot of Cassantes go conditioning, but a lot of them also go second wind. But pairing all that regen with Spectre's Cowl, it's actually pretty hard to kill him, or it's pretty hard to get him out of lane, I should say. But because he has Spectre's Cowl, he didn't go Brambles. We're actually healing up for our full amount, which is nice. And it's going to deal, like our Titanic is going to deal that much more damage whenever we complete it because he has no MR, or he has no armor. He only has MR. So ended up getting 3-man here. Kind of unfortunate. Echo and Janna came up there. Janna is still up here. So we came back to lane with our Titanic, and Janna is still up here. I'm just constantly getting 1v2'd right now. So we're just trying to survive and get as much CS as we can. So right here, we get a little bit of help from the Lilia, which is nice. We had to time her out just in time so that we were able to get a nice heal. Weren't quite able to get the Janna, but that's alright. Just going to be pushing out the wave. With Titanic, it is an absolute breeze to push out the wave. So all we try to do here, we're like, all right, I see that blood trail, so I noticed that's like that's why I was pushing out the wave earlier. I noticed that the Lily is coming behind. I'm like, okay, I'll take a little bit for you. Stutter stop, boom, use your E to take that last couple turret shots. This is funny, bro. So our Lilia dies, and I'm like, okay, Echo, I see you. You know, you're gonna try to commit to this, and he is too aggressive, and he's not trying to use his ult. So that's the whole reasoning behind us doing. Ooh, there we go. We decided not to follow. We're like, you know what? I want to just stay bot lane. So we could have followed him there. Like, we could have followed the Shen, but I wanted to stay bot lane and continue getting all this like gold and XP from these minions. So what I should have done, I should have just noticed that this tank minion is super low, and I should have just attacked that one minion, and then the Titanic cone would have killed him. But whatever. It would have killed that tank minion. But whatever. It is what it is. So Shen's trying to do a little bit of a flex recall, and he gets it. I do play a little bit aggressive here, and I trade for a 1-for-1. I shouldn't have done that. Hindsight, I should have done that. I should have just waited. There's a bit of a fight going on mid, fighting for this dragon, because the dragon is up. We finished our Bork. Next item I believe we're getting is Black Cleaver. So Titanic, Bork, and Black Cleaver is a really strong duo. Whenever they have any form of like tank on the team, or people that build, you know, 1 or 2 armor items that are on the enemy team, like a Zhonya's and a Guardian Angel, for example, on the ADC. Like a Zhonya's in the mid lane, Guardian Angel on the ADC, stuff like that, right? Like Cleaver is always a nice buy. You don't need to get it, but it's always nice. But it's only really worth getting if you have Titanic plus Bork. If you don't have them, then there's no point. You don't need both. Like if you have just Bork, it's good to go Cleaver because you lower their MR. You lower their armor. But yeah, you don't need to go Cleaver unless you go Titanic or Bork. That's the whole point I'm trying to get at. So we get a nice little kill on the Cassante. We get a good pick, which is always good. Force the Shen ult, which is nice. So now we can just me and Shen can just stay in the 1v1 and get this whole thing going. I'm just trying to stay high in CS, trying to stay high in XP. We are close to our Cleaver. That's what we do want to get. But as I try to farm, there's a bit of a 3-man yet again, and I die. But what else is new? We got our Black Cleaver. Huge spike for us. We get a lot of damage whenever they start to lose all their armor. We get a good pick on the Jhin here. Good pick on the Jhin. And I'm like, well, no point chasing. She flashed, she Shirelli. That's a write-off. Check out top. There's a bit of a scrap going on. Didn't really, there wasn't really too much going on. That's why I cut it. And get the nice double kill. So the whole point of doing this voiceover is there was a lot going on where I just wanted to make sure that I could explain the whole reasoning behind moving all over the map and where I'm going. Split pushing versus like the Shen, or split pushing versus pushing in a 1v2, like trying to show you that whenever you have a lead, you don't just need to stay in the top lane. I'm trying to be present all over the map, because Casante's not, he can't really keep up with me. So get a nice Baron fight going on. Like I said, Black Cleaver is really strong. Once you have once you have Bork and Titanic, you get a big spike once you get Black Cleaver. You could go some other lethality item, but Black Cleaver is good too. Really, really good for you because you get ability haste, which is always nice on Warwick. So we die here. Try to do as much as possible. The Jhin, maybe, I don't know if he did that on purpose, if he was trying to flex, but we die. So there's a bit of a fight, a bit of a scrap going on mid. More of like a pick, but I try to go and get a little bit of flank. He's starting to flex on this, on my ADC, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing here? So we got Zed coming. I'm just trying to keep the wave push. So say I just ignored the wave, then the wave would have been all the way to like my tower right now. I would have stacked up the minions. Like I wanted to just push up the wave a little bit to make sure that it was like forcing our minion wave to push up. So that's the whole kind of reasoning. It doesn't really matter because Lilia was there, but what if Lilia didn't go there, right? So nice. Got a good kill on the Shen. Had to wait for my Q. Had a obviously a gut feeling that he was going to be looking to dash over the wall. So this is when TP on Warwick can be pretty nice, right? So we just TP to defend the tower versus Cassante. But because we have our W, I'm like, okay, I can W the Cassante, chase him. And that way it's like, okay, yeah, not only did I just save the tower, but I'm also helping my team set up a pick, which is nice. Like, that's the thing with Warwick is, yeah, his move speed is like, it's good, like he's running, like it's good, but you can use it also to like to your advantage, where it's like, all right, well, I know the fight's gonna be 10 seconds away, but I can use my W to set myself up and walk into a position where it's like, rather than me just chasing the guy, I could just go a really long path and try to close him off and get a nice pick, right? So that's the whole thing with this. So with the pick on Shen, I know it is kind of a quote-unquote dumb move to ult the Shen, but I had my Zed there, so I wanted to make sure I had as much lockdown as possible because I lowered his armor by 24% with that Titanic. So I'm like, yo, our Zed's going to be dealing a lot of damage. So I'm like, let's just keep him in there. Let's just keep him there so that the Zed can just start doing Zed things and blow him up. But this is pretty much the wrap up to the game here. Let's just sit here, enjoy watching the end here, and if you guys enjoy the video, like I said, appreciate it if you hit that thumbs up. Other than that, thank you all for watching, guys. Peace.
Check this out.